You're very welcome to Abbottstown. We have 4 seasons here today. I think sunshine, rain, the whole lot. But more importantly, we have a TG Cahir All-Star with us, Hannah Tyrrell. Good to have you here, even though we don't know what to be doing. Are we wearing coats or T-shirts or whatever here?
Yeah, look, we're lucky to have the Astro, I suppose, today. Won't affect the conditions too much, but yeah, hoping the sun comes back out at some point.
Blue skies over that way. I'm being positive. I'm going with blue skies. So hopefully the rain will stay off and it'll be a good wee game here. Waterford against Westmeath. Lidl National League qualifier. And the pitch behind us here, Louth have just won, so Wicklow's down. Are you a bit surprised about that?
I think that game was always going to be tight. It's been a bit tit for tat for them for the last couple of years. But yeah, look, I think Wicklow will be very disappointed with that. But Louth put it up to them, obviously got the win on the day, and they'll be delighted with that. But Wicklow definitely back to the drawing board come championship.
It's a strange one, you know. You have Wicklow there. They won the All-Ireland Junior and they're on a bit of a crest of a wave. But look at Westmeath. They won the All-Ireland Intermediate. 18 players have left since then. And sometimes you get that. And I remember down in Cavan in the mid 2010s and they won All-Ireland Intermediates, and the next thing the squad was gone. And it's almost like at that level you don't have the strength and depth. So say if Dublin lost 10 players, they've still got a lot of good players to come in. They can still hold their own up there, but when you're a slightly lower level than that, you'll fall out, and that's why Westmeath are here today, I guess.
Yeah, look, I think that's always one of the kind of negative sides to winning an All-Ireland. You've players that have given so much service for so many years, and they finally go and win after a couple of years of trying, and they kind of go, do you know what, I'm happy to step away from inter-county now, having won that and going out in a high. But it does mean that the next year is particularly difficult, and with Westmeath, you know, coming into senior this year, and you know we'll be playing them, they'll be playing Meath. It's a tough couple of games for them.
Absolutely. Now, as I said at the start, the weather is very strange here.
Worse.
The sun's out, and yet there's driving rain across the pitch here, and you see the referee there. That's Declan Carroll in the shot, and it looks lovely. But there is a wind, and there is rain all over the place at the minute, so a difficult build-up for the two teams. And there's lots of changes as well. It's been a strange week. You have the O'Connor Cup games all week, and that has influenced the team selections today. So let's look at the teams, starting with Waterford. And there's 4 late changes, and as I say, it's related to O'Connor Cup because Cora Murray, congratulations to her, she won a O'Connor Cup medal with UL yesterday, but she's been replaced in the starting lineup here by Megan Dunford. Not a bad replacement. She's a all-star replacement from a few years ago. And also in there you have Rebecca Casey coming in for Mairead Wall at left half forward. Aileen Wall is in, and that's Mairead's sister, of course, wearing number 30. That's her first appearance this year for Waterford, so not a bad replacement there, although Kate McGrath's a good wee player as well, but Aileen's in for her. And at full forward, Kellyanne Hogan, well, she played 2 games in 2 days for UCC. Disappointment for her yesterday, but great game on Friday, and she played really well in the O'Connor Cup, but she's been replaced by Lauren McGregor, and Lauren will wear 23. Now, she did play in the O'Connor Cup, but only 1 game on Friday for NUIG, so she should be relatively fresh, and she's their top scorer in the league so far. So that's the lineup there, and looking at that, Hannah, I have to say, I don't think, no disrespect to the players who aren't there, I don't think they're weakened by those changes.
No, absolutely not. I think Megan Dunford has played quite a lot for Waterford already in the league this year. Solid cornerback, halfback that you kind of have there, and you're looking at the likes of Aileen Wall, little speedster, great skill. She's a great player to be able to come in. No weaknesses there at all.
And looking at Westmeath now, let's go to their team. And as I said, there's 18 gone from the 2021 squad. So this is quite an unfamiliar team here to me, and I'm sure to many people as well. I mean, there's no Lorraine Duncan, no Lucy McCartan, she's an ACL. So is Rachel Dillon, no Vicky Carr, no Fiona Claffey, no Jenny Rogers, Leona Archibald, Joanna Maher. I could go on. But, you know, that's youth and these players coming through. There's a lot of young girls in there. Sarah Dillon, of course, is the interesting one at number 13. She scored 11 points yesterday in the Yoplait Lynch Cup final. She was player of the match. She played 2 games in 2 days, but she looks fresh. I saw her earlier on. And Karen Hegarty's still there. She's one of the older players. But apart from that, that's a young-looking squad. Do you know much about them?
Yeah, look, as you say, we were talking before about there's always kind of cons to winning an All-Ireland, and that a lot of people choose to step away after years of service going out in a high, and they have lost a lot of experience there. But you know, it's the likes of Sarah Dillon that really needs to step up, and she's been excellent so far, and it's great to see her get a run of games after, you know, having a couple of injury-plagued seasons, and she'll be a key player for Westmeath today if they're to go on and win this.
Now, more important than all that team news and relegation and all that, there's a lovely rainbow developing over on the left-hand side there, and Most people will know that I love my rainbow. We had one during the week at DCU. That's the sort of thing you get, obviously, from this kind of weather. It's a lovely job there over to our left-hand side. So we'll pick that out. Our cameramen are very sharp here. We've Morris here on the low level, and we've Patter up above. So we will get that. And let's just pause for a minute and admire it. Isn't it lovely? And now the rain has stopped, more importantly. Thank goodness. Waterford and Westmeath are out there in this Lidl relegation game. The loser goes down. This is a battle for survival. So one of them is going to stay in Division 1. One is going to go down. That is the story here for this game today. Just remains for me to ask Hannah, who do you think is going to win?
I think this will be a really tight battle. It's quite a hard one to call. You know, as you say, a lot of players playing.
Me that, Hannah.
A lot of players playing college at the weekend. To be honest, if Westmeath can get their forwards the ball, I think they look a lot more potent. But I do think that someone like Cara McGrath, you know, from the centre half-back position, likes to drive forward for Waterford. Depends on who's going to step up and kind of drag their team over the line. But I'm going to give Westmeath the edge on this one, but I don't think there'll be much in it. That's
interesting. The previews were saying that it would be Waterford, but I hear what you're saying. I mean, Anna Jones has scored 2-11 in the 3 games. Sarah Dillon is there, so there's some good forwards. Ciara Blundell's a smashing player, and you've Karen Hegarty there. But if you look at the stats, Waterford, strangely, they've only scored 3 goals in 17 in their 3 games, whereas Westmeath, you know, they're a different sort of way. I mean, look at the scores for them.
They've got a couple
Waterford,
of goals.
114 to 111, 110 to 1-2. They only scored against Meath, Waterford, and against you guys they only scored 1-4. They're not big scorers, Waterford, but maybe they're tighter, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll just be key whether they can get the ball into their scoring forwards and create opportunities. As you say, conditions have kind of brightened down, but this AstroTurf, the ball is going to slide on that, and who can play the conditions the best.
Absolutely. Have you played in this pitch much?
No, not this. I've never played in this, I don't think.
Yeah, and there's a 3G at DCU as well. It is a different kind of game. And anyway, we are off with that game, and it is Karen McGrath, who you were talking about there, number 6, playing into the rainbow end, as we're going to call it, at least for the start here. And that is Aileen Wall, who's come into the team for the first time this year, and they're delighted to have her in. And Hannah Power is a number 11. And Westmeath, they're going to come away with it, though. That's Ashley Ruan over there. And these are slightly unfamiliar names to me, I have to say. A lot of young girls have come in for Westmeath, and there are a few changes even that we didn't hear about. We hear about the Waterford changes, but Hannah, you're pointing out 19, Kelly Boyce Jordan. She's actually the captain, and she was not named to start, but she has started, and she's out on her own here on the left, and nobody near her.
Yeah, look, it's a really wide pitch, and plenty of opportunities to move the ball a little bit and maybe get players into space one-on-one. I'm sure Waterford will be trying to get Aileen Wall the ball and just telling her go at them and see what happens.
Yeah, Kelly Boyce Jordan, I'm not sure who she's marking or not, but nobody's picking her up. Maybe that's a little bit of a surprise, or maybe she's just playing as a sweeper in there. But it's Waterford on the attack now, and we always like to see really bright boots like that, because you can always see who that is, and it's Lauren McGregor, but I'd know her anyway.
I think you have to have a little bit of confidence to wear boots like that. You know, you need to be able to back it up a little bit. They're looking fairly fresh at the minute, brand new out of the box.
What's the most colourful boots you've worn? What colour?
I usually stick to black or blue, to be honest.
Usually?
I did have
you ever tried?
I tried a pink Puma pair before, but it wasn't the colour that put me off, but the sizing was a little off, so I didn't enjoy them as much as
I'd love to see the look on Mick Bohan's face when you arrive with those pink boots.
Yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't be too keen.
This is Kelly Boyce Jordan now, the captain of Westmeath, wearing 19, and gives it to Sarah Dillon. 11 points yesterday and winning the Yoplait Link Cup final, and she has picked up where she left off yesterday. She was fantastic yesterday, and that's a brilliant start. No problem to her. 3 games in 3 days, and the first score of today.
That's an absolutely super score. You can tell she's confident after coming off a successful weekend with her college, but you know, not at a great angle for a right footer, but great score. And as I said, get her on the ball and she'll do the rest.
She scored 4 points in the first quarter, and she set TUS Midlands on the way to that win, and she's got the first score today. So fair play to her. I mean, 3 games in 3 days, and here to start, and she's not sort of saying, look, I'm tired or whatever. She's saying, bring it on. I spoke to her before the game, and she's not celebrating the win. She's going to wait until after this, so her commitment to her county cannot be faulted for this important game.
Look, she's young, she's well able, you know, she's not she's not an L1 like me, so she should have plenty left in the tank, but we'll see as the game goes on, can she kind of keep up with the pace.
Goalkeeper is Emer Gallagher from Tramore in County, or no, that was actually Ciara Faulkner at that end from the Downs. They had Lauren McCormick in goals for so many years. That's one of the stalwarts who isn't there at the minute for Westmeath. So Ciara Faulkner from the Downs, the goalkeeper for Westmeath, with that kick out. And Emer Gallagher at the other end for Waterford. Now Waterford going through, and it's McGregor. And she is, smashing that one off the bar. I've seen so many shots this week in the O'Connor Cup like that, smashing off the bar. So unlucky. Brilliant effort from McGregor.
I'm going to credit the keeper there. I think she got a fingertip to it to push it onto the bar.
Okay.
Vital save, I think.
Well, that's who I was mentioning, Ciara Faulkner, so fair play to her for that one. Yeah, if she did, that was a fantastic save.
Interesting tactics here by Westmeath. They seem to be playing an awful lot very defensively. Just looking at the kind of players they have back, they have 7 or 8 players now, and it's creating opportunities in space and trying to isolate the likes of Sarah Dillon up there to give her opportunities to go at them.
Well, they just got it up to her, and she just won a free of Megan Dunford, and it's interesting that Megan wasn't due to start. Cora Murray was there, but they've put her in, and they put her on Sarah Dillon, especially with the way she got that first point. Maybe they've just moved her over to it, but Megan Dunford, a very, very good defender as well, but she's just given away a free there, and this is unusual, isn't it? Is this a free off the ground? You don't see that often. No,
and she hasn't struck it quite well just there. She's slightly fortunate to get a 45 out of it, to be honest, but I always think off the ground makes it a little bit more difficult, but I suppose some players are well able for it, and obviously for years Waterford had...
Is it different on a 3G, taking a one off the ground as well? You can't sort of set it up in a bit of grass either?
Yeah, that's it, I suppose, in some ways, and it's all about foot placement, and it is a little bit slippy underfoot, but another opportunity here to go for it.
Anna Jones has to go off the ground, of course, from a 45, and plays a nice ball in there, and it's well taken. And I did notice that Sarah Dillon was very good at receiving the ball and holding on to it under pressure, and it wasn't her on that occasion. It was actually... Who was it in there? It was Karen Haggerty who took it in there, but it's so important if a forward can just win that ball and just hold on to it, and a lot of times you'll get your free.
And absolutely, look, a forward's job is not always just to score. It's can you make the runs, hold up the play, offload it to somebody coming through, you know, and you've done your job there. So it doesn't always matter how you can kind of affect the score sheet. It's can you set up plays and create assists from that.
Absolutely. You've been going well in the league yourself with Dublin this year. I noticed in particular the Cork game was very interesting. The goal right at the start, the press that you put on the kickouts early on was very important, and you got your reward there. So it's not all about just getting the frees and getting the awards and that, but you really did your homework there, and you did a number that day, and you have been very impressive in the league.
Yeah, look, we've obviously had a lot of work-ons to do coming off the back of last year, and we as forwards know that we've a defensive job to do as well, and some days it works, other days it doesn't, but it's always very rewarding to get a goal from a turnover and a kick out, and you know that's how you kind of punish teams and make them second guess.
Now this is Katie Murray, number 13 for Waterford. This is Hannah Power from St. Pat's. She's one of the young players who've come in to make an impression here under Pat Sullivan, and that's Aisling Mullaney from Stradbally, and that's a good effort, but it's just gone to the right. I thought the umpire was going to give that, actually. It was on the other side from us, but it was just wide. So what is the score, actually? I've just lost count. It's 2 points to nil. That's all it is.
Yeah.
2 points to nil.
Westmeath have been a lot more clinical when they've had the ball up their end. You know, I think Waterford have had the majority of possession, but you know, they aren't able to convert their opportunities, and you know, if they want to stay up in the league, they need to be able to score.
Absolutely. Down into the corner to McGregor, unmistakable in those bright boots in the sunshine.
There's a couple of bright boots on show there.
I saw, well, there's 2 variations, yeah, but definitely McGregor 23, and she gets a free in as well. And it's Waterford looking for their first score of the game, and we've played 7 minutes here. And I see also way off camera down to our left, number 3 for Waterford. You're talking about tactics. Caoimhe McGrath is way on her own. She's full back, but I mean, she's not staying back there. She's on her own, standing out on her own on the left hand side here. Nobody near her. And by the way, she's with St Jude's, of course, and won the All Ireland with them recently and scored a goal as well. So she may as well go up there. She knows where the goals are, and now she seems to be going to filter back. So she's in a sort of free role there, and it's Westmeath now repelling that attack. They still have not conceded a score in this game. That's Fagan, number 2, with the ball, and this is Lucy Power now. There's a Power on both teams. Hannah Power at 11 for Waterford, Lucy Power at 3 for Westmeath, and she's got big boots to fill. She's in there for Lorraine Duncan, who was a great presence at fullback for Westmeath when they won the TG Cahir All-Ireland Intermediate title, but she's not there at the moment. So that kick has been rather easily intercepted by Anya O'Neill for Waterford. And now this is Caoimhe McGrath, who I was talking about, looking to get forward. The McGraths linking up. That's Karen McGrath going inside to Anya O'Neill again. And this is Mulcahy. Or no, that's actually Murray, of course. And this is Wall. Now, Aileen Wall into the team, gives it to Murray. She's in a hurry and gets on her right. And it looked like she'd got her kick away, but it was actually well blocked. And Westmeath survival, though Waterford did, of course, have one that crashed off the bar after a few minutes. So it looks like this is going to be a very close game all the way through. And that's good battling forward, and they had possession and they had advantage there. But the referee's going to bring that back, and it's all about trying to move the ball quickly. But that foul actually suited Waterford.
Yeah, absolutely. It allowed Waterford to get a couple of players back. Westmeath were on the break, but
they're
full
again,
of willing runners. Yeah, absolutely.
And actually they don't get it through, though. Fiona Coyle was nearly through there, but it's Waterford who have turned it over, and O'Neill plays it quick into the corner, and she's looking for one of the Murrays. It's Katie this time, and Katie comes inside. Her sister won an O'Connor Cup medal yesterday. That's not one of the triplets, that's another sister. That's Cora. And there's the sisters combining out there. That's Emma Murray and Katie Murray combining. This is Katie again now. And they get a free. And they've had quite a few frees here, but still haven't scored. I wonder, will they maybe get it now just before we hit the 10-minute mark? And it's McGregor going over to take it.
Yeah, so far their efforts haven't really been rewarded by scores, and particularly against us, their free taking wasn't great either. But like it's a great opportunity for them to get on the board, and hopefully they can put this one over.
9 minutes and 30 seconds, and it is indeed their first score of the game. Waterford on the board. They're not big scorers, but they keep it tight at the other end usually, and they conceded 4-7 against you guys, although I think there was a goal or two at the end. And against Cork they only conceded 114, and Meath 110, and I know a lot of that would be dictated by the conditions, but there can't be a coincidence there that those are quite low scores. And I'm told that they ran Cork very close last week. This is Katie Murray again on the run, and she leaves it off to McGregor, but she is surrounded by maroon jerseys, and the referee says that was a throw ball, free out. So yeah, you beat them in the first game down in Dungarvan 4-7 to 1-4. How did you find them that day? I mean, obviously it was early doors, and there was a big wind that day.
Yeah, conditions weren't really great that day, to be honest. Pitch was very, very heavy. The wind, we had the advantage with the wind in the first half, and very difficult for us as a team to play against the wind. But you know, Waterford are a good team. They just lack, I suppose, that kind of killer threat. You know, again, they had opportunities against us and couldn't take them, and same here. And unfortunately, like, to stay up in this league, you need to be able to take your scoring opportunities, and you need to be ruthless at times. And unfortunately, Waterford haven't shown that yet this year, and even in this game. But still a lot of time left to play in this one.
I think that's fair. I mean, I know you were playing in that game, and it's a bit difficult sometimes to criticise players, but at the same time they missed a very close in freeze that day, and the weather was tough, but at the same time, as you say, and today it doesn't look like they have that threat there, and there's a couple of times and they could have had a goal here.
Yeah, look, they have the players that are able to, you know, create these opportunities and take those scores. It's just, are they making the right decisions? Are they making the right runs? You know, is the shot on for them, or are they kind of forcing it a little bit? You obviously give credit to defence here. Westmeath so far have been excellent in trying to force them out a little bit, but now they're starting to rack up the frees, and can they punish Westmeath from here, you know?
Yeah, I mean, our camera's on the play, but I can see the whole pitch here, and if you look outside the 45, there's only 3 Westmeath players outside of that, and they just are defending in numbers, making it so easy. And Waterford like to run the ball and try and find a way through, and there just isn't. But here might be a chance. Ball spilling in there, but as I say, lots of maroon jerseys, and they get the decision. And Westmeath will be very happy with this. 12 minutes in, and they've only conceded a point. But Murray has nipped in there now, and there might be a goal chance here actually for Waterford. No, it goes astray again, and Tracy Dillon is grateful to pick it up, and it's they who might break. They haven't been on the ball too much in this game, but Lucy Power now is looking for her captain, Kelly Boyce-Jordan, and just manages to get her, but she crashes into, not sure who that was, but that was painful. McGregor is, yeah, it's McGregor, isn't it, I think, who got that knock there, and I think she'll get the free as well. A little bit of an unfortunate collision, needs a bit of treatment.
I think she's a bit winded, kind of cut blindsided there a little bit. I think the referee
might be a hop, I'm not sure. Yeah, he seems to be holding on to the ball, so it might be a hop, but definitely a tough one. She has had a tough week, mind you. She was playing on Friday for NUIG in the Yoplait O'Connor Cup semi-finals. They got well beaten by UL in the end, and UL won that. Did you see that? I mean, UCC were fascinating the way they beat DCU. They had a bit of luck, but still the way they got through, and then the comeback. It was an exciting final, and UL again.
Yeah, I managed to catch some highlights. I was working, so I missed the game itself, but having looked at it and even seen the way the scores are going, the wind obviously was a massive factor in the conditions that were played in, and at the start UL looked like they were going to run away with it, but credit to UCC, they came back, they battled hard. You know, Katie Quirk, player of the match, kind of shows you that on the losing side. It's not very often you see that, but UL were able to hold on, and you know, with experienced players like Erica O'Shea in there, it's great to have.
Kelly Boyce Jordan setting up Clara Thornton, number 11, and this is a good attack from Westmeath, and a foul on Dillon. Referee Declan Carolyn on the spot there, and a rare attack really for Westmeath. They haven't been up the field too much, and I'm just looking at their scores. I mean, blimey, 3 games so far. Mayo put 7-22 past them in the Dome, and Galway scored 3-13 against them, and Donegal scored 2-11, so they've conceded 12 goals and 46 points, but so far they've kept it tight in this game. And the referee has spotted a free. He gave advantage there, but he's going to bring it back out, and it's an awkward angle for them, but it is a chance for them to get another score on the board, and kind of against the run of play, they could be 3-1 up.
Yeah, absolutely. This would be a perfect score for a lefty now. But Sarah Dillon put one over. Sarah Dillon put one over there. Look at it, she's taken a few steps in there, but she put one over from a similar angle and from play, so this should be no bother to her.
You all take a few steps, don't you?
No, never.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Good point by Sarah Dillon, and it's 3-1. And as I say, Westmeath will be happy with that. After soaking up a bit of pressure, I think it's fair to say, and I'm just looking again off camera, there's a couple of Westmeath players inside their own half. They are going defensive today, but look, this is Karen McGrath on the ball, the captain from Ballymacarbery, and she gives it to McGregor, and this is where they might be able to move the ball quickly and get in behind, and they look for Wall, but look at all the jerseys around her, they're all maroon, and the ball needs to be accurate, and it wasn't. Yeah,
it's an interesting tactic from Westmeath. They're kind of laying off on the Waterford kick out, so they're kind of allowing them to win it a little easy and focusing on getting bodies back. You know, so far it's paying off for them. Waterford are really struggling to kind of cut through their defence and taking those opportunities, so you know,
they sort of get this far, don't they, and then not too much further, but of course, just as I say that, they do get through and they get a point, and that's well taken actually by Aisling Mullaney from Stradbally, and it was the red boots or bright orange boots to the blue boots, and it worked because it's a point for them, and that's what they need, moving the ball quickly, and they capitalised there on a lax sideline ball and put it over the bar and makes it 3 points to 2, probably coming up to the water break. No, we're actually at the water break, so there you are. We'll have a minute of a break here, which gives me a chance to mention to Hannah Turrell, you've Dublin against Donegal next week, Mayo against Meath in the semi-finals of the Lidl National League. You're looking forward to those ones, and you've watched a bit of Donegal so far, obviously, and you know all about Meath.
Yeah, look, I try to watch all the games, to be honest, just because I love the sport that it is, and I love to see it being played at a high level, and I think there's been some cracking games so far. You know, obviously watch the Mayo Donegal game to figure out the outcome of that, and we're just trying to put in the work this week and next week, and hope that you know, we can put in a big performance next week against Donegal. You know, we played them last year in the All-Ireland quarter-final, and it was a great battle, and thankfully we came out on top of that one, but you know, you never know what's going to happen in a game, and it should be a good one, and I'm also be looking forward to the Meath Mayo match as well. It'll be interesting to see how those two play out. So
it really is an interesting one, because Mayo are coming through. They've got a few great finds, a couple of young players that are coming through, and they're very impressive, but you want to see them at that level when it really matters, don't you? Not in the group stages and the weather may be bad or whatever, but you want to know really how good are they. And of course Fiona McHale is in there dictating from centre half back. I found them very impressive. I've seen their last 2 games, and they're very, very good, and they put a lot of scores away as well, and they're very tight at the back, and they knit it all together. They have a good structure there.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they've been banging in the goals there the last couple of games, and they're definitely a key threat up front and well able to score. And you know, and they've the likes of Catherine Sullivan leading from the back and driving through the midfield. You know, that they are well drilled. They're always up there, and it should be a cracking game against Meath next week.
Off camera, I can see Anna Jones making a great run looking for the ball, and there she is, number 10. She just made a dart for it, and nobody followed her, and she got on the ball, but it's been turned over. And Waterford have done this quite well, actually, to keep the pressure on, but they just haven't put enough on the board. But here's the ball into Aileen Wall that they're looking for. Lots of maroon jerseys back, but can Aileen do something about it? She's very nippy and puts a lovely ball in there, and it was so close, but really well intercepted, actually. And I think it was the fullback, Lucy Power, who got in there, and I said that she is taking the place of Lorraine Duncan in there, and she is doing that admirably, playing really well so far. This is Boyce Jordan from Milltown, gives it to Fiona Coyle from St Mary's, and this is better from Westmeath, carrying the ball, and now they'll look to find the likes of Sarah Dillon or Anna Jones, and this is Jones, and she does brilliantly to get that and turns well as well and gets away from Murray. Now they'll be looking for movement, and the movement is from Haggerty on the right, and Dillon is to the left, but good tackling back, and Murray really did well there defensively, didn't she, Hannah?
Yeah, absolutely. Murray's an unbelievable player for Waterford. She really gets stuck in the defensive end, and she makes those driving runs and gets on the end of passages of play for Waterford at the other end. Key player, and a great near-hand tackle there.
She got turned there, but like, she did really well to get back.
Absolutely. Look, once you're beaten, it can be very, very hard, not to stick the hand out and fell kind of thing, but she was very disciplined there, and she got a reward for it.
This is a really even, interesting game. I think it's going to go down to the wire. It's just the 5 scores in it, and the previous game here on the next pitch to us earlier today was the same, 2 points to 1 with a couple of minutes to go to half time, and then Niamh Rice got a couple of goals out of nothing for Louth. That might take something special like that as well. And interestingly, tactically, I'll mention that, I'll come back to that in a second, because there's a great effort coming in. No, it's just gone to the right. Interestingly, in that game, it was a team who were soaking up the pressure, got the ball up, bit of room up there, a little bit like Westmeath are doing here, and they got 2 goals out of nothing because they have a couple of forwards there who can really finish. They've Kate Flood there as well, so they did well, and that's why they stay up. So that's what it can come down to. And Westmeath, well, they've Blundell, they have Haggerty, they have Dillon, they have Anna Jones, they have good forwards, and as another good forward will tell me now, that's what the game is really all about, isn't it? Of course it is. She's nodding her head. Karen Haggerty now is on the ball and coming forward. She's come out of the forward area, carrying it right up the middle. She's stopped by Mulcahy, is forced to come back, but still in possession. And finally is dispossessed, but gets a hand to it and leaves it out to Blundell, who I mentioned, from St Lomans. Has also played for the Sharjah Gales in the Middle East very impressively. And Westmeath are delighted to have her back, but those 14 and 15 on their backs, which suggested to be in the full forward line, but they're out around the middle helping out now. And there's a free for Westmeath, foul on Lucy Parr, and I think that's Blundell coming over to take it, and she's looking for a little bit of movement and gives it inside, and that's her centre half forward, Thornton. Steps, yeah, well, referee spotted it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think Westmeath have kind of got stuck there in the last little bit. They're breaking out really, really well, and it looks like that early ball in is on to their key players in there, and they're just taking that extra hopper solo and then kind of getting bundled up a little bit by the Waterford players who are working really hard to get back. And I think they kind of need to go back to that Route 1 game, because the space is in there for them. Waterford have to play a very different game because Westmeath are getting so many players back, but if I was a Westmeath forward, I'd be looking for it nice and early in and just saying, let me go at them and let me see where we can get to.
McGregor does well to give it to Kiva McGran. She lays it off quickly to Murray, and they draw yet another free. And Westmeath have certainly fouled a lot around this area of the pitch, and they've prevented Waterford from getting too close apart from on one occasion, but they have conceded frees, and McGregor might fancy this from just outside the D with a little bit of wind behind her perhaps, but just gone to the right, and they're not punishing Westmeath for all these fouls.
It's almost like Westmeath have done their homework here and gone, do you know what, like, we can actually foul them out here around the D, because they're not going to punish from it, rather than giving them any opportunities to get inside and take a score or even a goal chance. But
Oh, hold on, they might penalise them here because they have pressed and they've won it, and it's Murray on her left foot. Well, she's put it wide. I thought that was over the bar. They've had a lot of wides now, haven't they, Waterford? They're really kicking themselves out of this.
Yeah, they'll be frustrated with how they've had, because they've had the majority of the possession. They just can't make it count.
The Westmeath sideline over there in the sun, and I think they'll be reasonably pleased with the score. Beat 3-2 up, but not with the way the game's going. They can't really be that pleased, even though Waterford are missing, but you feel that Waterford will punish them at some stage, so they can't be happy with soaking up all of this pressure, I would imagine. And from the kick out, they have not been getting possession, and they haven't got it again. This is Breed McMaw, and she's in possession, looking for a little bit of help, and yet another free. I wonder, is the referee ticking these? And yet he's getting his book out now. He's starting to realise there's a bit of a pattern here.
Yeah, and even if you look at those Westmeath players, they're very happy to step off all these Waterford players around the 45 and edge of the D because they don't see them as a threat. They know they can't score from out there, so they're not a viable option. Now they're going to get the ball here, but again they'll just push out to them.
They're about to prove you wrong. I know they are. They're just going to say, well, we can score. They're going to do one almighty score from here. Maybe not. This is McGregor.
I hope they do. That's the kind of skill we want to see in the game, and it'll force Westmeath to come out and actually open up other opportunities and maybe goal chances for Waterford. But that's what they need to do. They need to take long range scores.
And is Mulcahy doing that? Oh,
no.
They put someone. They're not far away with a lot of those shots, so they're close, but they're, doesn't count.
Close doesn't count, exactly. And that's it. All they need is to put a couple of those kind of longer range ones out, start punishing them with frees, and Westmeath will be forced to defend a different way, and then other opportunities will open up. But I'd say their shot to score percentage is quite low at this point in time. They've probably had 6 wides or so now.
I mean, there's a turnover actually. Here comes Murray and she gives it in the wall. Now they might punish them, and look who's up there. It's Karen McGrath, the captain, the number 6 all the way up there. Now she's been crowded out, but is going to get a free in, and surely they'll get one now. I wonder, is it, Hannah, I mean, on teams you sometimes have what they call a scorer. I mean, you mightn't even actually call them a scorer, but when you watch it, they're the shooter and get the ball to the shooters. Waterford don't seem to have one. They keep passing the parcel.
Yeah, look, they're all well able to score. It's just, are they taking the right opportunities? Look, they are missing Riedel Hunty from last year. She was their prime free taker. And
Kellyanne Hogan, I mean, she scored 10 points against Cork last week. So, she scored 9 frees, so they're missing her, to be fair.
But, that's an opportunity. When those players aren't around or they aren't playing, it's an opportunity for other players to step up and be like, do you know what? I'm going to take the game by the scruff, and I'm going to start taking the points when they're on. But unfortunately, they're either just not striking it well, or Westmeath are putting them under enough pressure to put them off a little bit and force them wide.
In a low-scoring game like this, you also feel that a goal will make such a huge difference. And Westmeath haven't been up the pitch too much, but a goal threat is there when they do get up. But that's really good defending in there, as you would expect from Megan Dunford. Yeah, really good. And that's why they're on the run again, and they might hit them on the break. Breed McMaw, number 10 over there, and this is Power. A lot of passing, but tends to slow the whole thing down a little bit. But how do you find a way through there? They're trying now, and this is Milani trying to find a little bit of rhythm. They might get in here. There might be a goal that I was talking about, and she takes her point. Looked like a goal might be on, but at least it's a point, and it's Waterford in front, and that was much, much better from them. And it was Dunford who started it and finished it.
Yeah, look, absolutely. It's been a huge improvement by Waterford in the last few minutes. Finally starting to take a couple of those scores, and they're getting a lot from it. And finally, as you say, they've taken the lead and they've had all the possession. So,
and this is Ashley Ruan, number 8, another unfamiliar name to me, but playing really well today in the middle of the field there. And now she's looking for that ball into Dillon, and she's going to speed away. She is on top of her game, very much right-footed. But what a right foot. She can't get on it, though. That's good defending. Or is she going to get on it? And she's been shepherded there by Laura Cusick, and she still gets her kick away. That's fantastic. I mean, the defender did everything that she could do there.
That's ridiculous. Look, it's as you say, it's great defending, keeps her there, but she just needed to keep forcing her onto her left. Don't let her turn back there at all. Give her the shot on her left, and if she scores it off her left, fair play to her. But look, great score.
If she stood any more to that side, she'd be in the car park. And she did her best there. I'm on her side there. It's just, as you said, it's just ridiculous finishing. She's just so good, Sarah Dillon, and so confident. There's a great ball into the forwards, and there is Katie Murray now, and she is getting in behind. She's a lot of company there, and she's running into traffic, but still has it, and it's another free. And it's an interesting game now, 4 points each, and it's going from end to end. We're coming up to half-time, about 5 minutes to half-time, and it's very, very evenly balanced.
Yeah.
And the laces being tied on those lovely blue boots there.
I think if I was Westmeath manager, I'd be getting a little bit concerned about the number of fouls that my defenders are giving up, and I'd say there's a couple of them
Wall
on 2
might
ticks.
punish them here. She was very nippy to come out there, and as she got it over the bar, I think she has, and that was really well done by her. That's the lead for them, and she nipped out in front there, and they were all sleeping. They didn't see her.
Well, that's what they need to do. Westmeath have so many bodies back. It needs to be moved quickly and at sharp angles, and cut runs being made, and nobody even saw Aileen Wall there coming. She'd shot before people realised she had the ball.
She's got 2 All-Star nominations to her name, smashing player, and good to have her back for the Dacia. And talking about forwards, I have to say the other day in the O'Connor Cup, I was really fascinated to see the way that UCC played in the semi-final when they beat DCU. I mean, you mentioned Katie Quirk getting player of the match in the final. She was player of the match in the semi-final too, but it was the ball they played in. They kept getting the ball around the middle and played a low diagonal ball into her, and she knew to go out either to the right or the left, and the defender was marking from behind, and she just got the ball every time, and she was so good on the ball. And it showed that it's a way to beat that blanket defence. I mean, DCU might have had 8 players across there, and that it just took them out every time, and it was fascinating. And maybe it was John Cleary, you know, the manager, because he's been with a lot of those girls through the minors as well. He knows them, and they know each other. And Emma Cleary, his daughter, who's there, and they played together really well. And I just thought, whoa, Cork might be coming again.
And look, I think that's the beauty of this game, that there's so many different ways that you can play it. You know, DCU play with that kind of couple of extra men behind the ball or women behind the ball, and then kind of driving forward from that and trying to utilise that overlap, whereas UCC were happy to kind of isolate their players and then try and get them the ball one-on-one, and the likes of Katie Quirk and Sive O'Leary up there, very, very potent attackers. And you know, it's a great game when it's played well, and UCC were well worth their win against DCU. You know, it's a saying that goals win games, and
but
they got 2 of them.
Tactically, the way to beat that defence, you know, instead of booting it up, just that diagonal low ball into the forwards was just so clever. And it's almost like the game was evolving, and you think, well, someone's figured out a way how to beat this. You know. Now, what can Westmeath figure out today? It's 5 points to 4. They trail. But you feel there's a lot more in Westmeath, and they are trying to get forward now, and maybe the second half will tell a different story. But that is a free for Waterford. Now they want to take this quickly. This is Breed McMaw on it. She does, and she looks for Wall, of course, who's coming into the game a little bit more. She got that point. She's got support from Milani, and now on those blue boots she shoots, but shoots quite badly to the left and wide. Actually, that's not close at all, so a wasted effort there, but that's the way to do it. Move the ball quickly and punish the defence when you turn them over, and they nearly did there. But it remains 5 points to 4 in the 28th minute of this Lidl Division 1 relegation game.
Loser
goes down. It was a good kick out, yeah, and Anna Jones getting on it again. I said before the way she made a run for the kick out, and was really well found by Ciara Faulkner. Coming inside to Blundell now, and Blundell leaves it off to Jones. Really good player, Anna Jones, and she scored, I think, 2-11 so far. Playing a long way from goals now, but we might see her closer in the second half. That's a great ball by Dillon, looking for her captain, Kelly Boyce-Jordan. Gets it back, and Dillon, great power on it and accuracy, I think, as well, and that's fantastic. My goodness, player of the match yesterday in the colleges, player of the match so far today. That's brilliant, and Hannah here is just salivating at the thought of this and watching this. That's brilliant forward play.
Look, it's absolutely excellent. She wins the ball first out, getting a lot of close attention to her, gives it off, and then is there again on the loop, and it's a great score from the top of the D. And
Anna Jones a provider there, but so far Anna Jones scored 1-7 against Donegal, including a penalty, 2 points against Galway and 1-2 against Donegal. So she has been really productive there at that end, and it's 5 points all here now. Still quite low scoring, but that could all change. Waterford, and have they got, no, they've actually got a free given against them this time for once, and it's Westmeath's tactic is to move it quickly, get up the field, soak it up, and that's what they're doing now. And there is the out ball now. They're trying to get it up to Clara Thornton. A little bit of a tug there.
Yeah, a bit of desperate defending there from Westmeath forward. Can't quite see who it is, but yeah, look, she lost the ball and just gave her defender or her marker a bit of a tug just to make sure the fast break wasn't on.
Yeah, I think we say sometimes that she liked the colour of her jersey there, or fancied maybe having that one for her collection, but give away the free, and the referee Declan Carolyn spotted that, and you spotted it from here. Now this is Waterford looking to get the lead just before the half time, but is that going to go? Well, going to the left again, and I've lost count of the amount of wides in the first half that Waterford have had, but they may rue that by the end of this game. Now the goalkeeper with the pink hat, sunshine here in Abbottstown, so she needs that. And Ciara Faulkner has done very well in this game so far and made one outstanding save. Hannah thinks that she got a touch to an effort at a goal, which I think is the only goal effort in the game so far. It might be another one right at the end. No, Kelly Boyce-Jordan is there, and we'll get her free out for that challenge by McMaw. In fact, she's taken a bit of a knock there, so she'll slow things down, and we are in added time at the end of the half, and the referee has said he's going to hold the play up for a little bit of treatment for her there. So
I think it was an accidental collision of the knees, which can be quite painful. You know, there's nothing in it, no malice there, anything else, but it can be quite a sore one to get.
Yeah,
bit of magic spray, the magic sponge, and she should be good to go in a few minutes.
She needs a minute. But overall, I mean, low scoring, 5 points each. You know, where we were half an hour ago, and it means it's all going to come down to the second half. And it is breezy out there. We're a bit protected under here. I'm not sure what from the Milltown Club. They only live a field away from the pitch. Their dad Tom played for Westmeath, famous Dillons, and of course they won the All-Ireland Intermediate in Parnell Park a few years ago when Sarah came on as a 14-year-old and rocketed a goal into the top corner, and she's still doing it despite a run of injuries that would make you cringe, shoulder injuries and ACLs, but great to see her back winning All-Irelands at college level and playing very well here today as well. She's been the star. She's been the one thing you'll take out of this half probably. You know, there's always play, but that's something a little bit special. Yeah,
look, Westmeath have definitely been the much more clinical team. The ball hasn't been up there too much, but they've probably got 5 scores out of a possible 7 times they've had it up there in that period, whereas Waterford have dominated the majority of possession, but you know, haven't been able to make a count on the scoreboard. And you know, the longer this game goes on, and as soon as it, you know, stays a little tighter, nerves are going to kick in, and it's who can deal with the pressure and who can get their team over the line.
Absolutely. It's half time after 32 minutes and 24 seconds at Abbottstown in the Lidl Division 1 relegation decider. It's do or die, the battle for survival. The loser goes down, the winner stays up, and it's all to play for in the second half. What we're going to do now, though, is that we're going to look back at some of the highlights from during the week. It's been O'Connor Cup week. We were there on Tuesday with 3 live streams, another 3 on Friday, including the O'Connor Cup semi-finals, the Moynihan Cup final, the Giles Cup final, the Lynch Cup final, and we're now going to play you the best bits.
Good afternoon and welcome to a little bit of history today. A marathon day for us, an International Women's Day. We have 3 live streams for you. Now that's high, but is it dangerous? Oh, it could go anywhere, and she got a tap to it and it's gone into the net out of nothing. They've got their goal, they've got a reward. It's not her first trophy of the year. She's with Kilkerran Clonberne, so she won a currentaccount.ie All-Ireland Senior Medal, and now she is a winner with the Yoplait HEC Cup champions from GMIT. She does well to collect and goes for her score as well, and it might even know it just drops down, but it might end up in a goal, and surely it is for Kennelly, and she has had reward for a brilliant performance, and her team have had reward. Well, to be fair, she nipped them with an absolutely crucial goal in the second half and scored about 1-3 in a 10-minute period where the game was won. Brilliant performance by the girl from Old Mill in Limerick. And there now, we probably are able to come out wide and have a lovely shot of that rainbow. Perfect rainbow. But the rain's still coming down. And she gives it to Clark. Oh, and there's a goal chance here as well. She's going to go low, and she does, and she fires it to the net. Sarah Gilmore. It's that left foot we were told is as good as Clifford. To find her way through, but the whistle is gone. It's all over. It's a home victory. What better way to finish the day? No offence to Marino, but DCU are the hosts. It's been an historic day. Lauren Doyle, the captain from Wexford, celebrates with her teammates. DCU popular winners on home territory right at the end of the day, and Yoplait, the sponsors, will be happy. They have got their winners board out there for the photographs, and it's been a wonderful day, a wonderful start to the 2022 Ladies Higher Education Championships. 2,400 players, 58 teams. We came down to the last 14 teams this week. Kellyanne Hogan is available. So is Julie O'Sullivan over on this side. She might be needed. Sheehan is there. Depends how far they come over. And there's a kick now from distance from Ciara McCarthy, and that is dangerous. Goalkeeper goes for it, and Cork could end up putting it in the net, and she does. Is it going to be allowed? It is, you know, and there is a goal for UCC. They are threatening an upset here at DCU against the home team. It was a head and hope, and Cork was there. 2 players on the ground, ball in the net. Cork persists, and now it's Sive O'Leary. Tries to bounce it there and get it back to Cork, and she does on her left foot. Oh, she's a super player. Now that could end up in the net again, and the goalkeeper hasn't got it. The referee says, yes, that's fine. She's done it again. 2 goals. Of Cork got the first one. 2 almost identical goals, and UCC have shocked DCU at the start of the second half, and both times it's been a high ball into the goal area, and they have popped it into the net from close range, and they have caught DCU out twice. Now, Fiona Tiny again on that left foot, leaves it off beautifully, and it's beautifully taken as well by Ciara Needham. There's a chance of a goal, and Erica O'Shea with an all-star finish after an all-star move. NUIG look a beaten team. UL are on their way back to the final. The holders have won this impressively. They have set up a final against UCC, and the girl from Macroom in Cork has set up her team to play against the college from Cork. Katie Heelan, but Katie seemed to take it okay, although now she seems to be feeling it. Here's a chance now for number 8, and that's Kylie. Oh my goodness, what a goal, what a finish from the girl from Valley Rovers from Cork. She's a county player, and you saw that star quality coming through. What a goal, what a finish. That's one of the goals of the entire week in the Yoplait Lynch Cup final, and it sets Mary I on their way. And she gives it to Stack, and that's a lovely ball inside. And the support there, also a brilliant move, and it could end up in a goal. Oh, that's fantastic. What a brilliant goal, finished by Katie Cunningham. But a real team effort. Started with Kylie, finished with Cunningham, several players involved. And that's another brilliant goal. Their second superb goal of the game, and Mary I right back in it. Leaves it off to Roisin Howard. Oh, and there's a lovely ball, cutting out a lot of the defenders, and Stacks away with it. Oh, what a finish, low to the net. What a brilliant goal for Mary I. They can't stop scoring brilliant goals, and it's Stack from Dr. Crokes and Kerry has done it for the Limerick College. Mary immaculate, and that was an immaculate finish.
The ball does hop, it does move.
It does, yeah, and it makes it a very, I suppose, clean and open kind of a game, because it's nice. There's some great passing and great kick passing as well, and great skill levels.
McCarthy trying to shake off Dean. McCarthy! It's in the net. I think it took a couple of touches on the way. McCarthy won't care. MTU Cork won't care. They're back in front. Daly, the marketing student. That's a fantastic shift from right to left. Gets it back to Niamh Ryan. O'Mahony sees the runner inside. It's Murphy, who's already got 1 goal. She wants a second, and she gets a second. Fantastic finish from Cleena Murphy, who's now on 2-1. Let her Kenny go on the attack again. That's a good delivery. Driving on is McGarvey. She's got a couple of points, but her team, in truth, they need a goal. They need it desperately. And they've got it. What a finish that is from Dervla McCaffrey.
Yeah, what a brilliant goal. And I mean, as we said, they certainly haven't thrown in the towel, and Karen McLaughlin have to be complimented there in the midfield. That ball, if it had gotten to its destination, it would have been a certain score for MTU, but she cut across and turned the ball over, and now it's game on again.
Lively all over the field. That's good work again, and it's Gagan again, and they're looking for Dylan every time. Dylan, look at the speed of her, look at the skill of her. Oh my goodness, she's unstoppable. She scored 1 already. Is that another? It is, This is Ciara White taking it on, and St Mary's chasing hard. But Dylan is there now, and that is crowning a superb performance by the Westmeath player. That's the best point of the game. I think she scored about 11. I've lost count, and that's probably the best of them.
The player of the match, and that is number 15 from TUS.
Grania McLaughlin, you were right. It is the top scoring corner forward. She was absolutely lethal today. Sarah Dillon from Milltown and County Westmeath. I lost count. Might have been 12, might have been 13, and most of them brilliantly taken as well. Player of the match in the Yoplait Lynch Cup final, Sarah Dillon.
Waterford legend working at the game today for radio. That's Michelle Ryan and Hannah Terrell. You'll know all about her from down the years. I think she played about 20 years. I remember there was even a photograph of her in the Brendan Martin Cup. She was about 3 months old or something, way back. Her father, of course, was Michael Ryan, when Waterford ruled the waves back in the day. So Michelle, good to see her at the game today. But what a player! Yeah,
look, super player. Really gave her years of service to Waterford, and still giving back to ladies football. Off the pitch now, and she obviously had a hand in the underdogs as well this year, and trying to get players opportunities to get back into their counties. But yeah, super player for Waterford. I'm sure she could probably still do a job for them today if needed.
Well, we were talking about them needing someone out there, so we'll maybe have a word and see if she can nip in there for a 10 minutes impact sub job to keep them up. This is a Lidl relegation decider. The referee, Declan Carrollin, out in the middle for the second half. Lovely sunshine here after a mixture of weather. It's settled down a little bit. We'll not get too carried away with it, but it's lovely at the minute. Bit breezy, and it's all down to the last 30 minutes. We'll see if there's any changes. Hannah, have you spotted something?
Yeah, number 18 there.
18 for Westmeath is Anya Gaynor.
Yeah, she seems to have come in for,
I don't see
Anna Jones, who was playing excellent, so I'd be very surprised to see that. It seems to be Anna Jones, but
is that not her in full forward? Actually,
Anna
Jones is in full forward. It's not her. Look, we'll pick that up in a minute. Let's get back to the play. Declan Carlin throws it in. You can see there by the throw, actually, with the wind, the ball didn't go too high. So the wind, I think it's blustery, but it's going maybe across the pitch, slightly in favour of Westmeath, and it's playing havoc just with the players trying to get the ball in their hands. But this is the way to play it. Waterford carrying it through the hands, nice short sharp passing, and they get a free, and that's the pattern that we had in the first half as well. And with the refereeing style today, shall I say, if a tackle goes in like that, you're going to get a free.
Yeah, absolutely, but that was much better by Waterford, much more direct, moving the ball at pace, nobody holding on to it for too long, and they just managed to get in front of Westmeath, and obviously Westmeath pulled back out of desperation, and
but this
hopefully
is the
for
issue
a score.
Here. Can they put over their free? She's got a really good connection in that into the wind, but it's gone to the right and wide, and they just don't take their chances enough. That was the same in your game in Dungarvan when Dublin beat Waterford as well. They just couldn't get onto the board. I think they only scored, it was the first score after like 20 odd minutes, and they had close in chances. You gotta take them. Now look at the press here. It's really interesting from Waterford. They are really trying to put them off here by jumping up and down as well, but they didn't get the ball. That's the important thing.
Yeah, and it's an interesting kick-out technique by the goalkeeper along the ground, so that if the Westmeath player has to go down and get it, more than likely they're going to get shoved in the back, and they get their free out, and it's an easy out.
Yeah, I noticed that in the first half. She did 2 or 3 and just trickled it along the ground. Do you think that's deliberate? It's not just a
it's absolutely deliberate. There's a couple of keepers around the league that are starting to utilise that a little bit more, but
interesting.
It's also a risky kick-out to take, because it can be intercepted.
This is Blundell now for Westmeath. Will we see more of them in an attacking threat in the second half? Well, not with balls like that, because it's Waterford who have been handed a gift there, and McGregor is looking to get it into Murray, and that's worked really well, and she's left it off to Milani. Now, Waterford, 5 points each at half-time. What can they do in the second half? They look to be up against it. McGregor leaves it off, and is that over the bar? And that is, and that's a brilliant score, and that's exactly what Waterford need. And at last, they get reward for all of their hard work. That was a good turnover. It was a bit of a gift, and of course, it was Aileen Wall. They sneak into the lead at 6 points to 5. Every score at a premium in the second half. Now from that kick out, Murray goes for it, doesn't get it. They all misjudge it, and the only one who judged it well was Karen Haggerty, but Westmeath guilty of giving the ball away there a couple of times and for the last score. But it is now Haggerty again on the ball, and she looks for that substitute Gaynor, and she's going to try and get on her right foot, is she? And she misplaces it as well. Both teams guilty of misplacing a lot of ball at the minute. It's getting a little bit panicky out there and a little bit frantic, and a lot of frees. As I say, there is a tendency with this referee, if there's a hand goes in at all, he will give the free, and the players have to be wary of that. If you put a hand in, so change your tactics and don't put the hand in, just run and just guard against. But Waterford on the attack, they are profiting from that, and Murray now, there might even be a goal here. She fires it over the bar, and this is a better start to the second half from Waterford. Much more productive, and all their good work is being rewarded.
Yeah, I definitely think there was a couple of words there at half-time about, do you want to stay in Division 1 or not, because you're going to start taking your chances, and Waterford definitely started a lot brighter.
But they seem
than
to also be
Westmeath.
just attacking that a little bit sharper and faster and moving it quicker and a bit more direct.
Yeah, absolutely. They're using the ball better, using their players better, and they're dragging Westmeath around the place and getting opportunities.
This is Katie Murray giving it to her captain, Karen McGrath. They come inside, and this is the cornerback, Anya O'Neill, all the way up there. And there might even be a goal chance here. And it's lashed, not under the bar, over, but it's 3 points at the start of the second half. And Waterford have come out flying in the second half. They are making a break here. They want to stay in Division 1. Goes without saying, Hannah Turrell, that Division 1's where you want to be. And you know what? It's really hard to get back up. That's what you see down the years with teams. It's very hard to get back up, so you don't want to drop down.
Yeah, not only that, you want to be playing against the best teams, the best players, and it helps you as a team and as a player yourself individually to improve, and everybody wants to be playing at the top league and show that they're well capable of staying there, so it's why this has been such a close battle, because neither team wants to lose and go down.
Now Murray is back there trying to sweep, and she's playing in a defensive midfield role now, and Dunford is there as well, but this is good hold-up play for Westmeath, and it's Dillon, of course, and she's going cross-field, and that's a really good ball to Chloe Kelly, and Kelly leaves it in now to her captain, and Boyce Jordan from the Milltown club will give it back to Kelly from Tyrrell's pass, and she gets a kick in. They need to get a score back. They have got one back, and now this game is developing a little bit into a very interesting contest. Sun has just gone in. I see big dark threatening clouds off to our left. We hope it doesn't rain, but the weather is dictating a lot of the game and making it very, very difficult. The referee holding it up for a second. There's a ball on the pitch, but they're going to get rid of that now and continue the game. And I know it's a bit early to talk about contenders for player of the match, but I have to say Karen Toher from the Ladies Gaelic Football Association brought us all over teas at half time, and she's played a blinder all week with colleges as well, and she's got schools to look after as well, so it's a very difficult time and very tiring time for her as well, but she's playing on the blinder, so she's my player of the match so far. I'm sure you won't argue either, because you got a tea as well.
I was delighted with my tea. Happy days for me. But yeah, look, there's been a couple of good performances so far from players on both sides, but a long way to go in the game. A lot of players can have a huge influence.
And that was an important score for Westmeath after conceding 3 in a row there, just to steady it a little bit.
And using the width of the pitch there, they looked really bottled down over the far side there, and they just switched the play, and it opened up so many opportunities, and beautiful finish off the left.
Westmeath look a little bit more threatening for me, as in terms of like goal threat when they get forward. They just haven't been forward as much. But this is Quiver McGrath, and she knows all about goals, even though she's wearing number 3. She scored a great goal for St Jude's from Dublin, and that's who she's with now in the All-Ireland final last month, or was it the month before? I can't remember at this stage, but there might be a goal now. McGregor is there, but the tackle comes in and the goalkeeper comes out to get it. You're impressed, Hannah, by the hand in there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Westmeath player, couldn't quite see who it was.
Well, we might see a replay of it here actually, so I'll keep an eye on it there.
Yeah,
we're not going to see a replay of it, but yeah, it was good defence.
Yeah, look, it was last gasp. I think Aileen Wall there was ready to pull the trigger, and just got a hand in on her, and made life easy for the keeper, and the ball just trickled into her hands.
McGrath now getting on the ball a lot. I did mention in the first half that nobody seemed to be picking her up, but she wasn't playing fullback, and she's getting involved a lot, linking it up. And Waterford going through the middle again and finding room, and Melania is going to put that over this year. Is it going to? No, it's gone just
over the
inside the post. Garvin McFerrin, the umpire there, saw that all the way and signals a point, and that's a 4th point in the second half for Waterford, and much better again. It just moved it a bit quicker, and it was Aisling Malani from Stradbally, and it's a 3-point lead again.
Yeah, I think Kevin McGrath is playing midfield there, so it seems to be. But as you say, nobody seems to be picking her up.
Yeah,
and
she's way over on the left there again, and
she's kind of picking and choosing when she's deciding to get involved in the play, and she's just ghosted in and creating that excess player. And Waterford are taking full advantage here by the overlap, and Westmeath can't get out.
Yes, it's almost like she's just observing from over on the left and saying, well, you can come to me now. Anna Jones is doing this interesting run again off camera. But they haven't found her. They've gone to the other side, Westmeath, and they've actually given away a free there when it looked like they'd got possession, but the referee must have seen a hand in the back or something. He's given a free to Waterford, and it is Karen McGrath, the captain, and she now looks across to the number 18 Rebecca Casey, and she's been in since the start of the game. And now there's McGrath observing over on the left, just waiting patiently for the ball, and now she's going to link things up a little bit. And this is Breed McMaw from Ballymac, and there's another free, and the referee giving a lot of frees. If the hand goes in at all, it's a free, but it slows the game down a little bit, and maybe it doesn't even suit Waterford, maybe.
Yeah, well, not right now. They're having their purple patch, I suppose, and they're trying to take advantage of that. And as the game slows down, Westmeath are able to get those bodies back, and they're just looking to move the ball, but the ref's moving it up a little few yards, might actually make this a scoreable free.
It'll be a really good kick from there into that wind, which has just picked up a little bit in the last couple of minutes, I feel, with the sun going out as well. But she gets a good connection on it, actually. And you were absolutely right, Hannah. Sorry for doubting you. Great score. And that's 5 in the second half for Waterford after 39 minutes. They lead 11 points to 6. In fact, I think that's 6 they've scored in the second half, not 5. They have a 5-point lead because Westmeath scored 1. And this is Ruan now for Westmeath. They now are in bother. We thought they were sort of treading a dangerous line in the first half, and now they are definitely in bother, and they are going to have to do something here. And it's Waterford who are going to try and protect what they have. Very interesting weather here. It's like two skies here. On one side there's bright blue, and on the other side it's grey. Which way is it going to go? Hopefully the blue variation for us and for the players here. Westmeath trying to get forward, and this is Tracy Dillon, and she's moved it out to the far side. Is she going to keep it in? No, it's going to go over the sideline on the far side, and it's going to be a Waterford ball. And Westmeath just struggling at the minute. What do you think they need to do, Hannah?
Well, Sarah Dillon's not happy there. She had got really good separation from Megan Dunford there by about 10 yards, and Westmeath just aren't looking up. They're not looking inside, and they've had great success so far on that, so I don't understand why they're not going back to that route. And you know, they're turning over the ball around the midfield, and Waterford are just capitalising and driving out the defence, and here they go again.
This is Casey, number 18, and she is looking for Hannah Power, and they're moving it nicely now. Aileen Wall coming out, and there's a great ball in as well, and she's looking for Murray. It's just going to bounce over Katie's head, though.
The beauty of the Astro.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, about the approach. I mean, they're getting the ball in, and they're trying to get their forwards on the ball, and it's very accurate, and they're moving the ball fast. Whereas Westmeath now, where are they going to go with this one? And can they get their forwards on the ball? And maybe they're just too isolated up there. That's the problem, because Gaynor has it now, but they're having to come back because there isn't a clear ball in there. Although you could say, well,
there's not a lot of movement
either. The forwards are that good, though. They'll win it if you get it in there. Like there's Anna Jones going for it now. She's outnumbered, though, but she's still going to get it. And I see a little bit of rain coming in there now. That's what I feared for the players.
But like as you say, like Westmeath look dangerous every time they get the ball down around inside the Waterford 45, but they're just not getting the ball in there enough. You know, Westmeath are taking far too many touches around the middle of the park, and it's given Waterford opportunities to get back and put pressure on. And once again, this is a pretty tough angle from Sarah Dillon.
And in these conditions, it must be a nightmare for free takers, because it's so blustery.
Yeah, absolutely. She probably, off her right foot in that angle, was extremely ambitious. Didn't work out for her there. She might have been better off looking for a 1-2 to ease the angle on her a little bit more, because Westmeath desperately need the next score just to kind of stay in this game. And
well, they've got the ball, and it is Sarah Dillon, and she puts a nice ball into Blundell. So they're trying their best now to get things moving, to get that next score that Hannah Turrell says they really need, but that's not going to work. But there's a collision. Actually, I thought they might be penalised there, Waterford, for that, but the referee says no, that was fine. And it's Milani again linking up with Emma Murray. Emma, who, by the way, got a goal against your team, Hannah, if you remember.
Yeah, drifted right in behind us.
That seems a long time ago now, but she could do with another one today, although her team are well in front at the moment. They've made a great break in the second half, and there's Milani, who's got forward a lot, and she's got her second point in the second half. The girl from Stradbally is leading the charge, and those blue boots are certainly working. They're like Dublin boots. They're very accurate.
Yeah, look, she might be wearing number 5, but I don't think she's playing halfback either. So Waterford may be playing a bit of mind games with their the shirts on the back, but look, it's still 15 on 15, and Waterford taking full advantage of this.
But it's the quicker approach that is causing the player on the ball at the end of it to have more room and more time on the ball to get the finish, and that seems to be it. They're just doing things a little bit quicker now. Blundell's trying to get in there, but again, it's Waterford winning all of the important exchanges, and this is Anya O'Neill, number 4. And again, the numbers meaning nothing, as Hannah is saying, because 4 is up there, 5 is up there. And you see there the difficulty, the wind coming in behind is there. The umbrellas up to protect from the wind and from the rain. And if it's difficult for supporters, how difficult is it for the players out there? And a lot at stake as well, but when you get a lead, you are in a really good position, and that's where Waterford are at the minute. This is Katie Murray, and that's a fabulous ball in the conditions to Anya O'Neill, and this is good from Dadesha. Can they get a score at the end of it? It's Milani again. She scored 2. Is she going for 3? O'Neill's in there. Number 5 has got a point, and number 4 was trying to get one, but the goalkeeper's done well. That's Ciara Faulkner, and she gets her free. And she was fouled on the way out there, and they've repelled that attack, Westmeath, but they need a little bit more in this second half, and it's hard to see where it's coming from. Obviously, Sarah Dillon was fabulous in the first half, but she just isn't getting enough ball and isn't getting enough support, Hannah.
Yeah, I don't know, is there any, is the Westmeath manager thinking maybe I pull Sarah Dillon out to centre forward, even try to get her on the ball a little bit more, but she's clearly a key player and a threat for Westmeath, but
well, here's the change.
You can't be a threat when you can't get on the ball.
Exactly, yeah. And the change is 29 for Westmeath, and that's Aoife O'Malley, and she is coming in, and it looks like the captain, Kelly Boyce Jordan, is going off, and she wasn't supposed to start the game anyway, so maybe she's not fully fit, and she is going off the field. And Westmeath have lost their captain now, or rather replaced her anyway, and they are trailing by 6 points. Double scores, 12-6. They have it all to do here if they're going to stay up. It's been a tough time for them at this level. They've done so well to get up in championship and in league, but they've survived just about so far. But today they may be going down. If you remember, in 2021 they beat Tipperary in this exact same game to stay up, so they have been playing with the relegation situation for a while, and it looks like they might just go down unless we see something special in this game. But Waterford have their tails up, and this is McGregor, does really well to release it, and Murray finds it, and he could finish this one off here. This is powering her way through, gives it to Wall, but her kick is going wide. Now it's going to be brought back for a free here. The referee spotted something there, so it'll be a free in, and it's all Waterford at the minute. They are looking extremely good in this game. 46 minutes in, we're coming up to the water break, and that will be a chance for the Westmeath management to try and change things around. But what could they do tactically, never mind what they could say? Hannah, do you think, as you were saying, maybe bring out Sarah Dillon around the middle somewhere?
Yeah, or like even in the first half they were playing a very...
Oh, that could go in the net. The keeper had work to do there. I presumed that was going to go over the bar, but keeper Ciara Faulkner did well there to get a fist to it. And sorry to interrupt you there, Hannah, but it could have been a goal there which could have finished this off completely, and it might have actually sort of energised Westmeath a little bit. They were a little bit shocked there, but at least they were alert and they diverted that danger. But Waterford yet again, I think, have got the decision. Sorry, you were saying.
No, yeah, so it seemed like a bit of a miss kick there, to be honest, from Waterford, but Westmeath in the first half were getting a lot of reward from having 10, 12 kind of players back in their own half, and they were able to repel the Waterford attack. But now that doesn't seem to be working for them anymore, and maybe it would be better if they were to go more of a man-on kind of marking job and not giving any players space, and have a bit of responsibility on each individual to pick up and not let their player free. But as you said, they also just need to get their hands on the ball. Like sloppy errors there, forcing turnovers, and they can't get out of their own half, and they're supposed to have the wind in this half, and
so
they're not able to use it.
Throw caution to the wind, and don't forget about sweepers and that, and just go
for it.
Yeah, well, that might be it. They need a break. They need something special, and this is Gaynor who come on at half time. Now here's a chance for them, a little bit of room for once, and it's Anna Jones on the run, and she has scored well in the league so far, and she gets a free. It is pulled back, and she has been excellent. And the game held up yet again.
She was taking these off the ground, but she's decided it wasn't really happening for her, and this will be a nice score. And it said just kind of get Westmeath back in the ball. All they have to do is win the kick out and go from there.
As a free taker here, you're going for which post, which side, or go for the middle, or
over the black spot every time?
But with the wind, I suppose it's blustery. You can't really judge. And well, she does it perfectly.
Yeah, it looks like she had plenty to spare there, to be honest with that one. But a much needed score for Westmeath. They should pin this kick out in, and hopefully from there.
They can't. We've a water break.
Well, afterwards.
Absolutely, when we come back out from it, yeah. So really interesting game here. It's a 5-point game in the sunshine here in Abbottstown, and it is Waterford very much in control in this game, but Westmeath trying to put a little press on, and maybe, just maybe, their management over there, and it's new management for both teams this year. Well, Pat Sullivan's in with Waterford again, but he's new this year. And for Westmeath, they have Sean Finnegan was the manager who took them to All-Ireland glory, and he's moved on to Kildare. So it's Michael Finneran in there, a Roscommon man. But it's a new look team, and they are building, and I wonder, will he send them out now and put a few players forward and just go for it, or will they just hold on and try and get a break? But they did get a point there in the last minute or so, so maybe that's a little chink of light for them. We will see. Tactically, it'll be very interesting what happens, and from a Waterford point of view, they seem to be in a good position. No need to change anything there, Hannah, really.
Yeah, look, 15 minutes is a lot of time. There's plenty of opportunities to get scores. 5 points in it. Essentially, two kicks of the ball could turn this around for Westmeath. But if I was the players now, while sticking to kind of the concepts of play that you want to follow and for your team, but you got to start throwing caution to the wind and trying to make those diagonal balls in, or trying to get it into the likes of Dillon and Jones, and maybe a goal opportunity does come. But the points are there, take them and keep the scoreboard ticking over. But I think this kick out is crucial. You win this kick out, take another score. It's just, you just got to keep the scoreboard ticking over and put that pressure back on Waterford and go from there. You don't want them to stretch their lead anymore.
Well, that's what you guys did last week against Meath. Fascinating game. Now, I saw the finish. I saw you're free at the end, talking about getting right down to the finish there, and you got the last kick of the game, and it was a nice wee distance out for you. But was the wind swirling, or what were you thinking?
I was just thinking, put it over, to be honest. Look, I think it was a really great game, for the neutrals and the crowd, and the atmosphere was there, and
big crowd, yeah.
The weather was lovely, and the pitch was in great condition. It was just a really nice game to play. And yeah, look, I'm the free taker for the team. I'd missed one just before that to kind of put us ahead already, so I was just going through my usual routine, nothing different in that regard, and trying to judge the wind, and thankfully it went over, but it was a great game, and I'm sure we'll meet Meath a few more times this year, and there's some great battles ahead.
And what was it like playing in front of a crowd like that outside Croke Park? You're used to getting decent crowds in Croke Park for ladies football, but not so much outside there. But in a place like Navan, it must have been bouncing. And what was the breakdown? Was it more Meath fans than Dublin, or what was it?
To be honest, I couldn't quite tell. I'm sure it was more Meath, but definitely there was great Dublin support there, and it was great to see. And you could hear, normally you don't really hear the crowd too much, you kind of try and block it out, but you definitely could hear the roar from both sides when scores went up or opportunities were there.
Somebody said 5,000?
Yeah,
really?
Over 5,000 people, which is just great to see, and it's shown how much the women's game is growing, and how much of a spectacle it can be. And according to neutrals, the All-Ireland final was a cracking game, and so was that game last week. And let's hope there's more games like that, not just between ourselves and Meath, but across the country.
Absolutely. There's a great score from distance. That was absolutely brilliant there from Breed McMaw, and she made a nonsense of the conditions there. You've been admiring the free takers today. There's been a lot of good free taking and score taking, and that's as good as we've seen. Girl from Ballymac, she scored a point against Meath and 2 against Dublin, so she's got 1 again today. She's always good for a score, and it's an important one too, as Milani gets that ball. We're in the 51st minute, and it stretches Waterford's lead again at a time when we thought Westmeath might press and might try and get back into it, and it just re-emphasises their superiority. And number 19 is in there. That's Chloe Fennell. She is in for Waterford. I've just noticed she's been brought in, and she again has been one of their best players over the last few years. She's always good for a goal as well. I think she scored a goal or two against Dublin in various games over the last few years, and she's just won a free there as well. So maybe she's been put in for her experience there and just know-how. And she's got it now as well, and she will take the free, and it's
Karen McGrath.
Karen McGrath, it is over on that far side. I was trying to see who that is, and it is. It's the centre half-back, the captain, also from Ballymac, but that kick has gone to the left and wide, so we don't notice too much different after the water break, I think, and the referee there, Declan Carolyn, looking at his watch. There's still plenty of time left, but Westmeath need to get a move on. Their goalkeeper is Ciara Faulkner from the Downs, and that is not going to do it all because it's breaking for Waterford, for Chloe, or rather for number 12, is that Maria Wall out there actually? I think it is. She's in the play now. She was named to start but didn't, but I think she's in the play now, so it's another change. I'll try and confirm that for you now if I can see the numbers. And yeah, number 12 is in there. That's Maria Wall from Ballymac as well, Ballymacarbery, and she is in the play now. So Waterford putting a few experienced players in there to see them over the line and protect this lead, and that sounds sensible. And Mairead has been there a few years, and she is dropping into the system there and making sure that they don't concede anything, and it's a free now for Westmeath, and that's been the pattern in this game. The frees have been mounting up on both sides, and a lot of attacks have not developed because a free has been given and the play is sort of halted, and then defenders get back and so on. So not much flow to the play today, I have to say, apart from a few isolated occasions. But here is Karen Hegarty now coming back out. Oh, that's really well intercepted though. That's a sort of interception that will break your heart when you're trying to get back into the play, and this is Karen McGrath now profiting from that, and it's they getting up the field. And when they get the ball in their arms, they are very good with it, Waterford, in keeping possession. Good support off the shoulder as usual from Emma Murray, and they're using the ball well and cleverly and keeping possession. Of course, Wall is going to be there and McGrath is there, so the stalwarts for the Dacia down the years, the Walls and McGraths stepping up when they are needed. And this is good work by Laura Mulcahy, another of the Ballymac players, and she leaves it off. And this is good from Waterford, and then finally they actually hit a poor kick in towards the goals, but I wonder is the referee actually awarding a free in there? He's holding up the play anyway. I'm not quite sure what the decision is.
Substitution, I think.
Oh, that's what it is, yeah. So Waterford putting in 2 subs actually. No.
Yeah, look, Waterford can afford to kind of slow down the play a little bit, hold up the ball and just keep possession and try and wind the clock down. You know, they're in no hurry. They're the ones with the 6-point advantage, and you know, it's up to Westmeath to go out and kind of have a bit of aggression in there to try and win the ball back, because you know, otherwise they're gone down to Division 2 and they need to change something and change it quickly if they want to stay up and they want to win this game. 2
of their best players in the second half have gone off. Number 30 is off, that's Aileen Wall, and number 5 Mullaney, and they've been replaced by Sheena McGuckie, and I think Sheena was part of the UL squad actually, I think. And Cara McCarthy 20 is on, and Westmeath have made 1 change, did you see?
Yeah, I thought it was Sarah Dillon for a minute coming off, and I thought that was a poor decision, but it's Karen Hegarty gone off for Westmeath.
As Anya O'Neill puts it over expertly with her left foot, she adjusted beautifully there, the corner back all the way up there like a corner forward, and she looked like she was going to kick it over with her right and just moved on to her left and put it over for a really good score. 14 points to 7, double scores again. Yeah, no, they're not going to take Sarah Dillon off, but they did take Karen Hegarty off Westmeath, and there is a 29 there in the play. That's Aoife O'Malley. She came in a while ago, and they have another change in there, and they're finding a little bit of room here actually. They might be able to hit Waterford on the break, but not with a pass like that. It's just too tight in there, and a lot of Waterford girls got back there to end that attack, and now it's Murray, and they do like to get the ball and move it quickly, and that has been the key I think in the second half, apart from the good finishing as well. And when they get it, they tend to hold possession, and Westmeath drop off a lot as well, which allows them to do that. But basically Waterford have figured them out, I think, is the bottom line. And Ciara McGrath now is on the ball, getting it from Karen McGrath, driving through, and there could be a goal chance here. No, the goalkeeper comes out, but it is a free in. Game unfortunately has been littered with stoppages and frees.
Yeah, unfortunately it's been very stop-start and hard to get any sort of a flow going, even not much advantage being played. by the referee, but he's been consistent with that on both sides, I suppose, and thankfully Waterford are starting to convert those frees, and it's why, you know, they had all these opportunities in the first half, weren't able to take them, and in the second half they definitely have, and it's why they've commanded such a big lead in this half. They've also done excellently on the kickouts, and the keeper's been really struggling to find her own players on that.
Well, she's been forced to kick long, and that's what she's done now. Now it's actually
going to work out well.
Bounced really well for them, and Sarah Dillon is going to get on it almost by mistake, and she goes for a cross-field glory ball that isn't quite going to work. Most things have been working for her at the minute. I see what she was trying to do. She was trying to get it to the girl who's just come in. That's Mia McDonald, number 23, but didn't quite get there. But she is obviously thinking, move it quickly. And it didn't quite work for them, and it's Waterford again. And when they get the ball, as I say, they tend to own it. And when you're ahead, that's what you need to do.
Yeah, I think Megan Dunford's marshalled Sarah Dillon very well in the second half, and hasn't given her much opportunity when she has got the ball, which has obviously been few and far between. But as I say, Waterford come again. They just seem to be
Here's
finding
O'Neill
the free
again, and
players.
they find a way through, and they might get a goal here just to finish this job off, and they have, you know, lovely little goal at the end of the game, created by Anya O'Neill, the number 4 all the way up there, and finished to the net by Sheena McGuckie. And what a few days she has had. She's only in the play a couple of minutes, and she has got in there and scored a goal that will most probably keep Waterford in Division 1 of the Lidl National League.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be a little bit wrong on my prediction now, but I did say that, you know, if whatever team can kind of get the ball into their threats and their forwards and take their scores would win it, and Waterford have upped their game, whereas Westmeath haven't been able to get the ball in to the likes of Jones and Dillon as much as they would have liked, and it looks like it's going to be a victory for Waterford in this
Sunny day in Abbottstown. It's like the Bruce Springsteen song, Waiting on a Sunny Day, and it's coming along now, and it's just in time for Waterford, and they're starting to enjoy themselves out there, you can tell. And whereas in the first half they were kicking a lot of wides, now it's like every time they swing a leg at it, it goes over. That's football for you, I guess. And they're making a couple of late changes as well. Dunford is coming back, and as you say, she has done a good job, but they've made another change right at the back, Waterford. I'm trying to see who it is. I think it's 26 has come in for Waterford, and that's Abby Dunphy. So there's a Dunphy and a Dunford back there for Waterford as we go into the last couple of minutes of this game.
I think it's amazing what a bit of confidence can do. You know, Waterford got a couple of scores on the bounce and things started to go right for them, and you know, all of a sudden they're willing to take those shots, you know, willing to make those passes and create opportunities, and it's just seen their lead grow each time. Whereas in the first half, you know, they weren't getting any they weren't getting any scores from the opportunities they were creating, and then people were reluctant to take the shot.
There's a happy woman in the shot there, Michelle Ryan.
Yeah.
It's always easier as well when you're taking notes and you're from Waterford and your team are winning. So she'll be a happy girl reporting on the radio on this performance by her county.
Yeah, look, it's turning out to be a very difficult day for Westmeath, but I suppose what they can take from this is they've still a couple of games, you know, coming up in the Leinster Championship and then the All-Ireland Series beyond that, up senior now obviously, and they will have some tough games from that, but they can improve on that, you know, and use that as an opportunity to improve. And next year in Division 2, while they'll be disappointed, you know, obviously if the result goes that way, which it is looking like it will, they can use that as an opportunity to blood new players and get a bit of experience in and take confidence, maybe with some results they get. But again, nothing's guaranteed in football, and they're not guaranteed to come back up, you know, if they do go down today.
Absolutely. This is Anna Jones now to see if they can get something right at the end. Dillon has been watched closely by Dunford.
Very closely.
Yeah, she's just standing in her way every time, so it wasn't rocket science to figure out that she was the main threat up there.
And
but
she cuts a very frustrated figure at this point.
it's 3 games in 3 days she's played, 3 full games. Now she hasn't been admittedly going up and down the field all the time, but still, so it's been a mixed couple of days. But I think if she went off the pitch after this game over to the shop to get a cup of tea or whatever, I think Megan Dunford would still be standing beside her in the queue, or maybe in front of her, and both.
Megan Dunford's going back to Westmeath with her. She's not going home to Waterford.
She'd go down, she'd be looking around in the bus and Megan will be sitting behind her. So yeah, they did a job in the second half, and it has been all about the second half, isn't it? Because Waterford were level at half time, but you know, they were good in the first half, just didn't really capitalise, but boy, they have in the second half. I see 20 is out there. That's Cara McCarthy, came on a few minutes ago, and those girls are all out there enjoying themselves in the sunshine here and looking like they're going to win quite handily. And it is 116 to 7. That's a big score, actually, when you think about it. Considering all the wides, 16 is a lot of points. And they've got about 16 wides as well. So that shows you the domination of Waterford here.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, as you say, they've an awful lot of possession. They had created an awful lot of opportunities and couldn't get them to go over the bar in the first half, but they've definitely taken advantage now. And, you know, Westmeath are just really, really struggling to cope with Waterford coming in droves, and they're just getting caught out in their system of, or the defensive structure just isn't working.
It's that time again, near the end of the game. Player of the match, I think we know the decision in the game, but who are your contenders for player of the match today?
I think Karen McGrath has marshalled really well. I think she obviously has number 6 on her back, but I think she's kind of playing that midfield role, has done quite well. And Emma Murray in midfield has been a great link player for me, who's just done a great job at just kind of keeping it all together and keeping it moving. And then obviously Aisling Mullaney with the blue boots, number 5, got a couple of points on her again there. But yeah, there's been a couple of really good performances obviously for Westmeath. Sarah Dillon in the first half has been great. Aileen Wall for Waterford has done numerous running. Kiva McGrath in the end of it here has been some good performances.
Absolutely, and Anya O'Neill I would give a mention to as well.
Yeah, points from cornerback are hard to come by, so she'll be delighted with herself on that one, I'm sure.
She created the goal as well, but she's definitely not a cornerback. Name only. But yeah, it's a real plus for them to have Aileen Wall back as well. And I would also give credit to Lauren McGregor, who had the disappointment in the O'Connor Cup of losing with NUIG, but recovered from that to come out and play for our county today. Wasn't named to start, but then did start and really put in a shift for them today. And she's had a good league as well. And Megan Dunford, of course, deserves a mention for what she did, marking Sarah Dillon and nullifying that as much as you can do, because she's been one of the players of the moments, and scored 3 great points in the first half, but nothing, I think, in the second half. And there is the full-time whistle. Declan Carlin ends proceedings, and it's Waterford who have won this battle for survival in the Lidl Division 1. They will stay up. Westmeath will go down to Division 2. I'll leave the last word to Hannah Terrell.
Yeah, look, disappointing there for Westmeath, but fair dues to Waterford, particularly the Waterford manager and their management. They realised, you know, what was working or what wasn't working, and they made a couple of changes and adapted their play a little, and it paid off brilliantly. You know, they dominated the second half, and it's great for them to stay up in Division 1, and, you know, Westmeath go back to the drawing board, and we'll see them in the Leinster Championship, and hopefully, you know, they have better days ahead. And
Waterford play Cork in the Munster Championship. That's where all the eyes will turn to now over the next month or two as well, now that the league is more or less done and dusted. We hope you enjoyed the coverage here with Hannah Terrell and myself on the live stream from Abbottstown, a sunny Abbottstown. It's good afternoon.